Pilate asked them again, then what do you want me to do with the one that you call King of the Jews? And again, they shouted, crucify him. Don't miss this. There was a custom among the Romans in that day to release a Jewish prisoner during Passover, during the celebration of Passover of the year. It was almost equivalent, or it would be the equivalency of when a president is going out of office. He begins to hand out pardons and clemency to people that have been locked up in prison. The prisoner could be anyone that the Jews requested to be released. Talk about power to the people. And so among those in prison was a man by the name of Barabbas. Watch this. Barabbas committed murder. And it was during a rebellion against Roman occupation. The crowd, who is loyal to the corrupt Jewish priest, goes to Pilate and asks him to release a prisoner. And Pilate sarcastically asked them, well, do you want me to release the King of the Jews? Pilate knows the real reason that they want Jesus dead. We didn't read it, but go back up one more verse from where we started in verse 15. Mark chapter 15, look at verse 10. It says, for he knew it was because of envy that the chief priest had handed him over. Let me read that one more time. For he knew it was because of envy that the chief priest had handed him over. Let me read it one more time for the people in the back. For he knew that it was because of envy that the chief priest had handed him over. Somebody shout envy. Come on, say it one more time, envy. These arrogant Jewish leaders are breaking, watch this, these are the chief priests. And here they are breaking, I don't know, I would say at least 3 of the 10 commandments. I'm talking about the chief priests, the keepers of the Torah, the keepers of the law. Here they are, because of envy, breaking at least 3 of the 10 commandments. Well, which 3 are they, Pastor Devin? Commandment number 6, thou shalt not kill. But here they go. Want to kill. Commandment number 9, thou shalt not bear false witnesses. But here they are lying. And then, which I think is the most dangerous of the last of the last 6 commandments of the 10, which all deal with human relationships, is they're breaking the 10th commandment. Commandment number 10 says, thou shalt not covet your neighbor's stuff. Look at what it says. Exodus chapter 20, verse 17. Do not covet your neighbor's house. Do not covet your neighbor's wife, his male or female servant, his ox or donkey, or anything that belongs to your neighbor. How does this connect, Pastor Devin? Let me tell you what I feel in my head. I think covetousness is the fruit of envy. This commandment forbids envy, which is desiring that belongs to someone else, and is one of the worst evils that can reign in a human being's heart. Why? Because the Bible tells us that where there is envying, there will be disorder and every kind of evil. Go to James chapter 3. James 3:16 says, for where there is envy. See, I'm not making this up. This is in the book. For where there is envy and selfish ambition, there is disorder and every evil practice. See, when you are disappointed with what you have, you will covet what someone else has. And so because of their diabolic envy, the chief priests, Lord, help us today. Help pastors today. Help spiritual leaders today. Help those who are in authority today, that envy won't reign in their hearts, that selfish ambition won't take control and rule in their heart. Because when that happens, disorder and every evil practice will be present. Every evil practice. So because of this diabolic envy, the chief priests stir up the crowd to request Pilate to release Barabbas instead of Jesus. Then, Lord, help us today. Because he knows their evil heart, Pilate one more time asked a very sarcastic question and asked them, what do they want him to do with the man that they call King of the Jews? Look at what the crowd shouts in verse 13 of chapter 15. Again they shouted, crucify him. Not once, not twice, 3 times. Crucify him. And watch this. They wanted to kill him because they are disappointed that he didn't give them what they wanted him to give. I believe sometimes we approach our faith like a transactional relationship. We expect God to answer our prayers and provide immediate results in our lives for stuff that we want. However, Jesus teaches us that faith is about trusting in God even when we don't see immediate results. Lord, I feel like preaching this morning. Faith is about trusting God even when we don't see immediate results. Faith is believing what God said, believing in the dark what God said in the light. I know it gets difficult at times. I know it gets hard at times. But are you going to believe that what he said is true even though it appears that everything else around you is going in the direct opposite direction? And this can be difficult for us to accept, especially in our fast-paced and instant gratification society.